You are caught in the middle of two lifelong best friends because you slept with them both and now have no idea.
Ms. Nadeau isn't exactly winning any awards for loyalty here. Sleeping with your partner's best friend is already a nightmare scenario, but dropping that bombshell on Christmas Eve? That's just villain origin story energy. And to top it off, there's a chance the friend, Mr. Zara, is the real father of little Cameron. Mr. Santilli was shattered, and it's taken him 2 years to even face this situation.
Gonna break down. It's been over a year and a half. I had to convince my 4-year-old how he doesn't have a younger brother no more.
Mr. Santilli isn't just dealing with heartbreak, he's swimming in full-blown betrayal. Imagine the gut punch of losing your relationship and your best friend in one scandalous move. But Miss Nadeau isn't taking all the blame. She says Mr. Santilli dumped her first, telling her she was too good for him while he was grieving. So, from her side of the fence, what he calls cheating was just her moving on.
So I continue to go and see his grandfather while he's in the nursing home getting sicker, starting to pass away. The day he passed away,
and yep, that's right, the so-called best friend, Mr. Zara, is the one Ms. Nadeau ended up sleeping with. What makes it even more outrageous? She did it on the same day Mr. Santilli's grandfather died. Let that sink in. As if that wasn't enough, she even showed up to the funeral with Mr. Zara in tow, standing by her man while secretly sleeping with his best friend.
He told me to do it. He told me specifically in his house, yo, I don't care about the girl, I have another girlfriend.
Everyone wants to point fingers at Mr. Zara, and sure, he should have known better than to hook up with his best friend's ex. But let's not forget Mr. Santilli in all of this. He's the one who dipped on Ms. Nadeau for some other girl like it was no big deal. Actions have consequences, sweetheart. If he had made better choices, maybe we wouldn't be unwrapping DNA results in court today. Just saying.
When you found out Ms. Nadeau was pregnant?
At first, I did not believe the child was mine. No, I denied it to the fullest, yes.
okay, glad
at
you
first.
admitted it.
Things are heating up in court and it's getting spicy fast. Mr. Santilli claims he had no clue the baby could belong to Mr. Zara until 2 years after the birth. But Ms. Nadeau is calling his bluff. According to her, he knew there was a question mark over the baby's paternity while he was cutting the umbilical cord. Imagine that, snipping the cord while silently wondering if the baby's even yours. Yikes.
She didn't just say he's not yours. She said it ruthlessly. She said, how do you feel you're holding your best friend's kid, you loser? Which is why I snapped, which is what led to my incarceration.
Woo, Ms. Nadeau really said, I'm a single mother, I do what I want, and then handed over fatherhood duties like it was a game of hot potato. That's beyond cold, it's Arctic. And now, because of that decision, little Cameron calls Mr. Zara Dad and refers to Mr. Santilli by his first name. If that's not a gut punch to a man who once cut the umbilical cord, I don't know what is.
Is Cameron your only child?
No.
They have another baby together too.
We have a daughter together.
Which we?
Me and Mr. Zara.
Mr. Zara didn't just cross the line, he launched himself over it with zero shame and a front flip. Not only did he sleep with his best friend's ex, but he also deliberately got her pregnant while still tangled in the fallout of baby Cameron's paternity drama. That's not just betrayal, that's Olympic-level audacity. And guess what? He's not even with Ms. Nadeau. She's still riding solo as a single mom. Talk about making a mess and walking away whistling.
What is going on with you? What happened that would lead you to be in this position?
Absolutely. This emotional train wreck has gone off the rails, hit a tree, and burst into flames. The only way to douse the fire is with the truth. Who is Cameron's biological father? Mr. Santilli, the betrayed ex who cut the cord and stuck around? Or Mr. Zara, the best friend turned plot twist? There's only one thing left to do. Open that envelope and let the DNA results speak.
It has been determined by this court that Cameron's biological father is Mr. Santilli. You summoned Mr. Thompson to court for a DNA test for your 7-month-old son, G.
Yes, Your Honor.
You claim he has neglected his responsibilities as a father since you called off the wedding last.
Phew, now this is a situation packed with drama and denial. Ms. Greenhouse says Mr. Thompson did a full vanishing act the moment she called off the wedding, but he's claiming the baby isn't his because of a short break and a possible 1-week rebound. Classic case of blame it on the break. And let's not forget, his mother is in court backing him up like it's a tag team match.
I have a 4-year-old son by Gregory, and I also have a 7-month-old by Gregory. I called off the wedding because he's insecure and he's disrespectful, and I don't want to marry someone like that.
11 years, a 4-year-old who is probably going to be bullied for a lifetime because of his name, let's be real, and a canceled wedding later, Ms. Greenhouse decided she'd had enough of Mr. Thompson's nonsense. Apparently, she wasn't about to say I do to a lifetime of stress and sketchy behavior. Meanwhile, Mr. Thompson says he doesn't trust her at all. And let's be honest, no relationship can survive without trust.
Thompson, you said you were the one trying to hold this family together. For 8 years, you said.
8 out of the 11, every time I brought this back together. And she used to say it then, you only with me, or you only try to keep.
It's giving toxic high school sweetheart energy, the kind where love and resentment hold hands. Mr. Thompson paints himself as the glue holding the family together, but according to Ms. Greenhouse, that glue was barely sticking. She says she stayed because he was her first love, and sometimes that nostalgia keeps you trapped in chaos far longer than you should be.
If she admits to you that while we were off, I slept with someone, and then you decide to get back together, you know this, right? This is not a surprise to you that she was...
This couple is the definition of dysfunction. They can't get through a sentence without yelling over each other, and it's giving pure chaos. Mr. Thompson knew what he was walking into when they got back together. He was fully aware of the affair, or affairs, as he claims, yet he still signed the birth certificate and helped name baby Gay. So what's with the selective outrage now? Sir, you don't get to play shocked months later.
I'm Kristen Greenhouse's youngest sister. I'm only here because I was there during the time that Chrissy and Greg rekindled their relationship.
You're saying you were there.
Now this is where things get juicy. Mr. Thompson had the perfect chance to clear up any doubt before signing the birth certificate. Ms. Greenhouse literally suggested a DNA test right after Gay was born, but he said nah and put pen to paper anyway. So what's with the sudden suspicion? The timing is suspiciously convenient. Could it be that he only started questioning paternity after Ms. Greenhouse called off the wedding?
G does look exactly like Chrissy. He does.
And SJ.
This boy has an extra large head. His daddy do, his brothers do. He don't have it.
If this is them in public, imagine the drama behind closed doors. It's giving toxic with a side of chaos. Since the breakup, Mr. Thompson hasn't contributed financially, and his mother's main argument? That baby Gay doesn't look like her son or her first grandchild. Okay, but paternity isn't a fashion show. Still, she gives credit where it's due. They are good parents, just not good for each other at all.
On a Chevy Impala 2008 for $750.
Yes, ma'am.
You're saying you put this down payment down on a car.
This couple can't even agree on who paid for a car, so how are they supposed to raise a whole human together? Ms. Greenhouse wants $750 back for a down payment she claims she made on a family car, but Mr. Thompson insists he paid for it. Honestly, they're the definition of he said, she said. Judge Lake shuts that down quickly. No one's getting reimbursed.
Can I speak, Your Honor, please?
You already had your chance.
Shouldn't have been here speaking at all.
These poor children.
Exactly.
How can you grow up like...
What a mess. This is emotional warfare, and the real victims here are the kids caught in the crossfire. With all the yelling, accusations, and pettiness, you'd think this was a reality show, not real life. It's a shame the children have to grow up in this chaos. Anyway, the moment of truth is here. The DNA results are in, and trust me, you're going to want to brace yourself. This one's wild.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Thompson, you are the father. You're here to prove to your ex-boyfriend, Scotty Rasmussen, that he is not the father of your 3-year-old daughter, Zaylee Rasmussen.
Yes, Your Honor.
You claim you've been in an...
You poured your heart into raising a little girl for 3 years, loved her like your own, only for someone to turn around and claim she's not even yours, all out of spite. That was Scotty Rasmussen's reality heading into paternity court. His girlfriend, Ms. Miller, came ready to prove he's not Zaylee Rasmussen's biological father. But what Scotty didn't know? The truth waiting in that envelope could break him.
Yes, Your Honor.
You say you've been there for your daughter her entire life, and you're here today to prove you are Zaylee's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Rasmussen, why is Ms. Miller saying...
Well, well, what a start to this emotional roller coaster. Mr. Rasmussen openly admits to cheating, but claims it only happened when the relationship was already falling apart. Ms. Miller, however, isn't buying that timeline. According to her, he was unfaithful from the jump. Maybe that's where all that bitterness stems from. But here's the kicker. Ms. Miller also claims Scotty simply doesn't have the means to care for little Zaylee.
Is it enough to buy her clothes so she doesn't have to wear cut-off sweatpants and the same t-shirt every time I pick her up?
I do that.
Talk about a quick turn of events. Ms. Miller tries to soften the blow by claiming she doesn't hate Mr. Rasmussen, but let's be honest, her actions scream otherwise. She insists that her reasons are purely maternal. She just knows deep down that Zaylee isn't his and wants to protect her child. But come on, is this really about protecting Zaylee or protecting her own version of the truth?
You were intimate with someone else and you believe that you were intimate with that other person during the time Zaylee was conceived and Mr. Rasmussen was all the way in Las Vegas.
In any regular situation, say outside the courtroom with a bit of common sense, everything here screams, Mr. Rasmussen is the dad. His name's right there on the birth certificate, he's been raising Zaylee since day one, and he's emotionally all in. But leave it to Ms. Miller to toss a paternity grenade into the mix 4 months postpartum. Just like that, she introduces the idea of another possible father.
Even quite sure, after we broke up, he changed his number.
Let's get this straight. The other guy, the one Ms. Miller now claims might be Zaylee's father, wants absolutely nothing to do with her or the baby. Zero interest, not even a shred of concern. And yet she's here, in paternity court, fighting tooth and nail to prove Mr. Rasmussen isn't the dad? That's wild. Even wilder? She says she doesn't feel an ounce of guilt for dropping that bombshell months after birth, just because Zaylee started looking like someone else.
Are insisting that Mr. Rasmussen is not the child's father, and yet you're receiving child support from Mr. Rasmussen.
As the moment of truth approaches, you can feel the tension gripping the courtroom like a vice. Mr. Rasmussen, clinging to hope, says if Zaylee turns out to be his daughter, it would be the happiest moment of his life. But if she isn't, he admits no amount of time or warning could ever prepare him for that kind of heartbreak. And honestly, who could blame him?
I don't think I'd be able to prepare myself for just how devastating that would be to not only me, but my entire family.
Jerome, I think it's time for...
After all the accusations, denials, tears, and tension, this is it, the moment we've all been waiting for. Judge Lake opens that envelope and the courtroom falls completely silent. No one breathes. This isn't just another day in court, this is one of those reveals, the kind that sends jaws to the floor and changes lives forever. Whatever the results say, one thing's for sure, this courtroom will never forget today.
That's a lot of nerve considering the alternative is somebody that don't want nothing to do with you or your child.
I'm sorry.
That's a lot of nerve.
Judge Lake did not come to play. She gave Ms. Miller a reality check so sharp it could cut glass. And honestly, it was overdue. Now the big question, who's going to look that sweet little girl in the eyes and tell her that the only father she's ever known isn't really her father? That pain, unmatched. And poor Mr. Rasmussen, he just had his whole world yanked from under him.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Rasmussen, you are not the father. This infidelity has caused questions regarding your 2-year-old daughter, Robin, and 6-month-old son, Jermaine Jr.'s paternity. Although you are hopeful that both are your children,
Ms. Bodine is back in paternity court, again, and this time, it's even messier than before. She's married, she has 2 kids, and plot twist, neither of them may belong to her husband. Enter Mr. Benning, who's back on the courtroom stage like it's his own personal soap opera. This poor man has already shed tears once on live TV, and now he's here to see if he's the father of both children. Buckle up, this one's a crazy trip.
And treat her like my mother took care of me.
Oh, that's
so
wonderful.
I've always stuck by with that.
So having a daughter is so important to you.
So important, I waited.
Ms. Bodine comes clean. Yes, she cheated on Mr. Benning. No point sugarcoating anything at this stage. Still, she insists with near certainty that baby Robin is his. Mr. Benning, bless his heart, says he was thrilled when he first found out she was pregnant, but that happiness didn't last long. Why? Because what came next was enough to shatter anyone's joy.
I was in the hospital sitting across from Kayla as she was pushing this baby out, and I received a text from a guy telling me to leave the hospital because that's his baby and he needs to be there.
Whew, talk about plot twists. Miss Bodine, in a rare moment of responsibility, actually had the other potential father tested before today's hearing. And surprise, surprise, the results show there's a 0% chance that Robin belongs to him. So that's one man off the hook. But does this clear the path for Mr. Benning? Not quite. Things are only just heating up.
The DNA test doesn't mean anything considering the fact that she's cheated on me with more than one person.
Oh!
There could be other guys out there, that's just one, you know?
Now, that's the plot.
Well now, isn't that something? Both Mr. Benning and Ms. Bodine are convinced that little Robin is the spitting image of Mr. Benning's late mother. In fact, they're over here romanticizing her birth like she's grandma reincarnated. It's touching, sure, But we all know resemblance doesn't equal paternity. And sadly, the only spirit making an appearance today is the cold, hard truth, courtesy of Judge Lake's courtroom.
Should diaper her and look at her and play with her, and she's calling me daddy, and there's something in the back of my head saying she might not be. You know, there's a text message on my phone saying,
"Come on now, Ms. Bodine, spare us the performance." We all see the heartbreak train pulling back into the station, and Mr. Benning's standing right on the tracks. She's clinging to her 100% sure claim like that means something in paternity court, when history says otherwise, and you can't blame Mr. Benning for doubting it. After all this chaos, now he's wondering if his son is even his.
The child isn't his.
I don't know. I cannot control what other people say. I know what I'm saying and I know what I prove.
Well, Ms. Bodine, most times, people don't just say stuff unless they see stuff. If he has people telling him that the baby is not his, don't you think you need to reevaluate the situation and look at all the other men you've been with? Look at how she confidently debunks everything, saying it's a lie. In addition to that, Mr. Benning says that he simply does not trust a single word that comes out of her mouth.
We spent 2 years together. You can't change that. You can't take that away.
You said earlier that if Robin was not your biological child, it causes you to doubt whether or not.
What a twist of the knife. Ms. Bodine, mouth agape, looking like she just found out the sky is blue. Ma'am, you started this avalanche, and now the spotlight shifts to baby Jermaine Jr. The doubts Mr. Benning has? Oh, they were planted and watered by none other than Miss Bodine herself. Yes, the same woman who seems to treat paternity court like a revolving door. Incredible, truly.
There was a text to you, Mr. Benning, that says, "I'm filing papers for a DNA test on Jermaine." That'll cause paternity doubt?
Talk about emotional whiplash. Mr. Benning was there, front row and center, for Jermaine Jr.'s birth, holding hands, cutting cords, signing certificates. The baby carries his name, for crying out loud. And after all of that, Ms. Bodine had the audacity to text him with a, "Hey, maybe he's not yours?" The nerve. Honestly, if the results don't shatter him, they might just make him bulletproof.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Benning, you are not the father.
That he's gonna leave her, he don't wanna be with her, so in my mind, you keep telling me this, I'm thinking like, okay, he's gonna do it, he wanna be with me then, if he keep telling me he don't wanna be with her.
So, Mr. McKnight, you not doing enough talking today.
Your Honor, I never told her one time that I wanted to.
Oops. Mr. Ramon McKnight might as well write a book with all the tales he tells, because this man is a full-time storyteller. To Ms. Wilson, he's whispering sweet forever after promises. But plot twist, he's still married and has zero intention of signing any divorce papers. Worse, he won't repeat any of those love-drenched vows with his wife in the room. And the cherry on top? He's denying the baby. Classic.
He said he have to wait on her to do the divorce. He can't just do it. He have to wait on her to do the first divorce move.
Oh, Jerome, have you ever heard about that kind of divorce?
According to Ms. Wilson, Mr. McKnight wasn't exactly running from fatherhood when little Shakira was born. In fact, he showed up at the hospital like a proud dad. No denials, no doubts, just vibes. But Ms. Wilson, ever the documentarian of drama, decided to snap a little photo of him right there in the room and send it straight to his wife. Petty? Maybe. Understandable? Oh, absolutely.
So, Mr. McKnight, is that you in the picture?
Yes, Your Honor.
On your phone?
Yes, Your Honor.
In the hospital room with your mistress, Miss Wilson?
Yes, Your Honor.
Were you texting your wife to say you just gonna be a little bit later?
Ah, yes. The classic exit strategy. Time-honored and tragically predictable. Mr. McKnight really played the full stereotype here. One moment he's in the hospital room, pretending to be just curious, not concerned, and the next he's pulling a Houdini while casually telling Ms. Wilson that he would be back soon after getting some cigarettes. And you know what they say about men who leave to get milk? Cigarettes.
Sounds like to me you had a good hunch that you could be Shakira's biological father.
Yes.
That's why you took your little self up there to that hospital.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So, since that time,
oh, the irony is too rich. Mrs. McKnight, bless her heart, was out here playing marriage counselor to her own husband's side chick, cheering him on to do the honorable thing and check in on the woman he got pregnant. Meanwhile, Mr. McKnight was out here giving Oscar-worthy performances, claiming he hadn't even seen Ms. Wilson since she gave birth. Sir, you were at the hospital in the delivery room, possibly still smelling like baby wipes and bad decisions.
And that speaks to how passionate I am about getting this situation resolved. Nothing in me wanted to get on a flight after burying my mother.
Mrs. McKnight isn't here to play games or cry in corners. She came with her boundaries packed and zipped. If Shakira turns out to be Mr. McKnight's child, she's out. No debates, no part 2, no reunion special, just exit stage left. But let's not forget, Mr. McKnight is holding on to his doubts like they're the last lifeline on a game show. According to him, the timeline's off and the baby might not be his.
Telling the gentleman that, oh, your granddaughter is doing fine, and so I'm like, so how's you telling everybody that?
You saw a text in Miss Wilson's phone?
Yes, Your Honor.
Exactly. Imagine sitting at home, juggling your double life, and then boom, your mistress sends a message to another man saying, "Congratulations, Grandpa." At that point, even Sherlock Holmes would raise an eyebrow. Mr. McKnight may be living foul, but in this case, his suspicions weren't pulled from thin air, and as it turns out, his doubts weren't just petty jealousy or deflection, they were spot on.
Salvage your relationship with your wife.
I do, but I just gotta work on getting me right.
Now that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Mr. McKnight is up there sounding like a reformed man, all about doing right and stepping up. Admirable, yes. If only we could hit rewind and delete the mistress, the lies, and the disappearing act at the hospital. As for Mrs. McKnight, she's sitting there with a front row seat to the drama, probably wondering if she married a husband or a daytime soap opera.
To try to get himself together.
I'll always be his friend, Your Honor, but I would have to strongly consider.
Exactly. At this point, the vows are hanging by a thread, and the only thing keeping this triangle tangled is Shakira's paternity. If Mr. McKnight turns out to be the father, he'll have more explaining to do than a kid caught sneaking in after curfew. If he's not, Ms. Wilson might have just dragged the wrong man into her drama.
Wilson, it has been determined by this court. Mr. McKnight, you are the father. Mr. Matthews' wife is the reason he's denying paternity of your son. Now, you claim that Mrs. Matthews was once your best friend since 6th grade.
Things took a sharp left turn when Ms. Hadnot revealed that Mr. Matthews' wife, who used to be her best friend, might be the very reason he's now denying her child. She says that after she confided in her friend about being pregnant by Mr. Matthews, the friend didn't back off. Instead, she got pregnant by him too and ended up becoming his wife.
And then we ended up sleeping together, but she was at the house where we slept together at.
And so she knew you were interested in him, or you guys had...
According to Mr. Matthews, yes, he did sleep with Ms. Hadnot. No denying that. But here's where things get a little twisted. He insists that he and his now wife were just best friends before things ever got romantic with Ms. Hadnot. That's not how Ms. Hadnot remembers it, though. In her version, the timeline doesn't add up, and she's not buying his attempt to rewrite the past.
Both of them.
Wait a minute, they told you they were cousins?
Yes, she said they was cousins living in the same house because he had another girlfriend at the house where they was at.
It definitely adds some weight to Ms. Hadnot's story. She says she was already pregnant for Mr. Matthews when Ms. Matthews suddenly popped up, and not just as a friend, but as competition. Imagine being blindsided by your best friend jumping into bed with your man, then proudly flaunting a baby bump of her own. But now, we've got the million-dollar question. How is Ms. Hadnot so sure Mr. Matthews is the father of her child?
It's been times where she, can you take me here? It's always been about money, finance. She's a gold digger.
So you not only felt like she could have, well, she did.
Mr. Matthews says he wasn't even told directly when the baby was born. He found out through Ms. Hadnot's mother. That alone was a red flag for him. In his mind, if he were truly the father, he would have been front and center in that delivery room. Instead, he feels like a backup option, like someone else was supposed to be there but bailed. And that's when the doubts about paternity really started kicking in.
I'm supposed to know.
I wasn't in a relationship with you in the first place. You was a one-night stand, and that's what it was.
Yeah, well, so obviously if I was a one-night stand, who else was a one-night stand? So that's why I have doubt.
Come on now, Mrs. Matthews. There's oops, and then there's a full-on life detour. You don't accidentally fall into bed with someone, forget the protection, accidentally get pregnant, and then whoops, walk down the aisle with them. That's not a series of mistakes, that's a whole storyline. Let's call it what it is, a series of choices. And now, here we are.
I was there for Terry through all her stuff.
And
no matter what. Her grandma, through everything, with her grandpa, all that, I was there for Terry.
She was.
And she was there for me, but she betrayed me.
If chaos had a face, it just might look like Terry Matthews. This woman could turn a calm day into a full-blown disaster with one decision. One minute she's your best friend, the next she's knee-deep in betrayal, and somehow still acting like it's all just a big mix-up. Oops, I accidentally set fire to your life is basically her catchphrase at this point.
Your best friend comes to you and says, I'm pregnant by the same guy too? What did you think?
Mr. Matthews is really out here acting like he's confused about why the women in his life are at each other's throats. Sir, you got two best friends pregnant. What did you expect? A baby shower collab? Now, to sprinkle extra chaos, Ms. Matthews is telling him that Ms. Hadnot's baby might not even be his. So not only did she steal her best friend's man, she's now trying to snatch the baby too. Yikes!
In your statement to the court, you stated that you're trying to break a cycle. You want to make sure your son has his father.
Yes, because my son asks me all the time.
Exactly. At the end of the day, it's the child caught in the middle of this messy adult drama. Ms. Hadnot might have made some questionable choices, but it's hard not to feel for her when you think about what her son could lose. If Mr. Matthews is the father, then hopefully this madness was worth some kind of truth. Let's rip the bandage off and see what the DNA results reveal.
Of 4-year-old Jamari Matthews Jones. Mr. Matthews, you are the father. Thank you. I told you.